Thousands of primary and high school students across Australia are in the midst of NAPLAN exams, but Muslim students are sitting the tests on an empty stomach, with NAPLAN coinciding with the holy month of Ramadan, where Muslims abstain from eating and drinking during daylight hours. Educators are concerned their energy and concentration levels are being impacted by the fasting. Fazeel Arain is the Victorian chair of the Islamic Schools Association of Australia, and he joins me now. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. Can you talk us through what impact you see fasting having on students when they're participating in NAPLAN exams during Ramadan?
Sure, and thanks for this opportunity to speak to yourself. So when people think of Ramadan, they think of people that are fasting from morning till evening and the fast is there. But the month of Ramadan is much more than fasting, especially with the longer days at the moment. Our night prayers start quite late, and most of our schools provide the facility for parents and their children to come to these night prayers as well. So what it does is it makes the night quite short. So waking up early in the morning at dawn for eating before the fast starts, and then finishing late at night as well. So I guess one of the pressure points is that there's less sleep, which actually impacts the abilities and activity levels during the day.
Yes, that was going to be my next question, is around how much sleep these students are operating on. But as well as that, have you noticed a change in results, or what sort of feedback have you gotten from students and families who are participating in these NAPLAN exams during Ramadan?
So look, it's not easy to gauge the effect on the results, but let's just say that there's a lot of yawning that's occurring during the day, and you can see among students and staff members as well that energy levels are impacted. For that reason, especially in the last 10 days of Ramadan, it's a very intense time. So this year, our school community made a decision to actually give the last week of Ramadan off, which is next week, and that means we'll have one less week of the term break, and we'll actually have 1 week off now to give time for families during Ramadan, because it is a very intense time. In fact, the word Ramadan itself means something hot and intense, because it's an intense time.
So what sort of changes are you calling for here in terms of exams coinciding with Ramadan?
So what we're asking for is that we can provide like a 5-year plan in relation to the educational authorities, and I fully acknowledge the challenges, because it's not a short time, it's 1 month, and in addition to that, it's based on the lunar calendar, which is always moving. So I fully acknowledge the logistical challenges that are there. But as we're moving, next year Ramadan's around the middle of February, and then it starts to move to the start of February. So what will happen is that it will start to come into the holidays. So if we work on 5-year plans, we're hoping that the educational authorities can adjust the NAPLAN so it's outside of Ramadan.
You mentioned there, of course, that your school is closing next week. When Islamic schools do close, has that ever coincided with NAPLAN, and how do you sort of get around that?
Well, we wouldn't be able to close while NAPLAN is on, because it's an important it's an important assessment that students need to be present for. So we will always take that into account. So this year, the NAPLAN is just before the last 10 days of Ramadan, so we were able to take 1 week off in lieu of reducing our traditional term break by 1 week.
Fazeel Arain, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.